unacceptable. What we did to the Biafra civilian population was nothing short of a war crime. And every single person that was in any way involved in the carnage should have been prosecuted for crimes against humanity at the International Criminal Court. Aside that, I've always maintained that Nigeria owes an apology to the people of the Southeast for this great injustice and act of sheer wickedness. Admitting that what we did was wrong is not an act of weakness, and neither does it make those of us that say it unpatriotic. It simply means that we're strong enough to acknowledge our own errors, that we're compassionate enough to acknowledge the pain of our victims, and that we are patriotic enough to ensure that our country never commits such an atrocity again. I think I can stop there. So that gives us the general drift. I don't know if FFK is on now. Has anyone noticed him, please? I'll try to put a call through to him again while we, just to be sure. Otherwise, then we can move on with the proceedings. His phone is ringing. FFK, are you able to join us now? You are trying to log in. Okay. Yeah. Because I just read excerpts from your article to the audience. Yeah, he's logging in now. Please, let's exercise some patience. His interventions are always very, very good. I don't know if JJ Media has something we can be doing in the meantime, going by the proverb, while we're cooking the antelope, we can make do with some popcorn and granules.
I do not know you as a man with much proverbs, but be that as it may, our father, late Chino Achebe, told us that proverb is the oil with which words are eaten. So on that note, I will say thank you everyone once more for joining us. And I do not know if the host is able to play us. Can we read the names of those that we lost during, or some of the names? Basically, we cannot play all the names. So if we can get some of the names that we lost during the Biafran War, that would help us, again, that we pay a tribute to them while we wait for Chief Femi Fani-Kayode to join us. I announced that Mazi Nnamdi is here.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So we might, I think you are sharing your screen now, so we might... I don't know who is doing this. Obina, please, can you get off yourself from the screen?
Mazi Nnamdi, you are welcome.
He came in with Nnamdi Carlos iPhone.
Okay.
You say, can you okay, in this case now, host, can you kindly unmute
Nnamdi, yeah.
please? I can't see where he is. If anybody has seen him, let me know. Of course, he's there. Nnamdi Kanu's iPhone. You just type on the search. You will see him there.
Are you all hearing the music?
No.
You are not hearing any music?
No, there's no
music. Because I stopped sharing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's the voice. How are you, Mazi Nnamdi?
I'm okay, my dear brother.
Thank you for always responding to us at any notice, either short or long. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. So what, sorry, may you turn on your video if you don't mind? I should do it from here. Okay.
Okay, we can see you now.
Nice to see you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adebola. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Before he speaks, I'd like to seize the opportunity to welcome our son, our beloved son, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm doing this on behalf of the World Igbo Congress and all lovers of Biafra land. We welcome you to this session, and we look forward to what you have to say to us. May God continue to bless you. Nnamdi Kanu, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Professor Ipob. The man I acknowledge as, in my opinion, the Igbo leader we have right now, not just in the diaspora, but also back home as well. I want to commend the World Igbo Congress for the very stellar work they've been doing, and also to thank my dear brother Mazi, who is there, and my very dear brother Dele also. I've been following these proceedings intermittently for the past 4.5 hours or thereabout. I've been caught up in a few things, as you can imagine. A lot is happening back home. But there is something that this year's event has brought to light. It is the camaraderie and unity of purpose amongst the people of the South, and to an extent those of the Middle Belt as well. And we must continue on this very plane until we all get what we are asking for. I have not come across any individual who is against freedom. Therefore, what we are asking for as a result of this very important occasion is that we must move forward together as one people, as an indivisible force, in order for us to demand what rightfully belongs to us, which is freedom. Today is a very critical day in the history of our people. We are remembering those who were slaughtered and massacred unjustly by the Nigerian government, and of course by extension the British government as well. We are remembering those who died as a result of the unofficial Third World War that took place in our land nearly 54 years ago. And as a result of that, this very day, as we renew this pledge every blessed year, we have sworn to forever remember these people. We must remember them because the Jews do the same. All over the world, people remember their dead. In Rwanda, the same thing happens. And I don't know why there is this, should I say, conspiracy of silence to try to sweep this very important event in our history under the carpet. We lost over 5 million people, the second worst genocide in the history of man, only second to the Jewish Holocaust in Europe. And for some inexplicable reason, the world have decided to keep silence over this very matter. But we are not going to keep silence, not at all. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We are going to vigorously and relentlessly pursue this very effort to recognize the genocide that was committed against Biafra people, without apology to anyone. It's a very good thing that before we come on air, I think the Ebonyi State government have now rescinded the threat they issued to all those who were intending to stay at home tomorrow. That is also commendable. It is not very often that I commend people, but I must say that I also commend Governor Willie Obiano, which I don't do very often, for the very critical work that he did today by laying a wreath at the cenotaph that he built for those that fell, for those that made it possible for us to remain alive this very day. I must say this to our people, those who are living, that it is because of the sacrifice of those brave men and women that is the singular reason why we are not suffering the same fate as those of them from the Middle Belt, and to a very limited extent, those of our brothers and brethren from Ududuwa Republic. Why am I saying this? It is only in our land today that we do not have any significant presence of foreign terrorist organizations in our bushes or in our forests. And why is that the case? Because our fathers taught us how to fight. They fought for Biafra, unaided, unassisted for over 3 years. We fought the two strongest major powers in the world as at that time,
the USSR, and Great Britain. Egypt fought against us. The OAU was against us with the exception of the likes of Julius Nyerere and Wilfred Brenner of Cote d'Ivoire. We suffered immeasurably. And now, like then, Israel was under attack and they couldn't provide any meaningful help. But we survived it. Not out of our own might, not out of our own power, we survived it because God Almighty in heaven was with us. And this generation have now come to complete the work that those of them of 1970 started. And we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom, and that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And nobody, no soul on this earth can stop us. Instead of Biafra not to come, we all perish. I want our adversaries, our enemies to understand this very, very clearly. We are not going to retreat. Not one iota, not 1 inch. Because Biafra must come. Because the hatred has continued to this very day. As I'm speaking and addressing all of you right now, they are still arresting, extrajudicially murdering people in our land. People who are alien to our culture, our way of life, our tradition. They are in our land directing their people to slaughter, to kill without mercy. Unfortunately, those we regard as political leaders have connived with these people to ensure the decimation of their own population. That is the type of nonsense we can no longer condone. As you all know, there is no significant planning presence in our land because our fathers taught us how to fight. And we are doing so today without apologies to any idiot. We're not going to apologize because we have been apologizing for nearly 50 years. And we have not gotten anywhere in terms of our collective advancement and development in the damnable zoological republic called Nigeria. That is why we must know what we're doing. And that is why anybody who is remotely interested in the affairs of our people must understand this. That we are determined. Doubly determined. 50 years, or should I say 54 years, is a very long time. And 51 years is the end of the war. But now that we have come, or should I say now that God Almighty in heaven, that we should come, we are not going to relent. We are not going to do anything whatsoever to jeopardize the sanctity and the holiness of this very mission. We love our people. We love every ethnic nationality that makes up Nigeria as it is presently constituted. We have no hatred towards anybody. We love peace. We love life. We love the progress of other people. But we are in a country where people hate us for no reason. Where people despise us for no reason. And we can no longer go on apologizing. And Nigeria as a state, the entire Africa as a continent must acknowledge. The same way they acknowledge the genocide in Rwanda, they must rise up to acknowledge the genocide in Biafra, or else there will be no peace or development in the whole of Africa. And I'm not saying it apologetically. I am stating a fact that ought to be forcefully demanded for. And Biafra itself must be restored for those who have come before us, for their sacrifice, for their courage, for their gallantry, and their bravery. It is a very good thing today that one of the co-hosts here is our brother Dele, a man that I cherish and I appreciate very much. And also the very excellent work that Mazi is doing. But let us make this thing very, very clear. We are wronged by the Nigerian state, by every ethnic group in Nigeria. I know that my good friend and brother, Obadiah Mafia, rang me and apologized a while ago for the role that they played in the massacre of Biafran people, the role that they played in aiding and abating a very unlawful invasion of Biafra land, because all Ojukwu asked for was restructuring. The same thing we're arguing for today. Ojukwu went to Aburi to argue for restructuring. Ojukwu did not go to Aburi to declare any state of Biafra. He never went to Aburi to declare any war. Ojukwu went to Aburi so that all of us in Nigeria, including those from the middle belt, from the west, everywhere can have freedom. The same thing we're asking for today. They twisted the narrative. They changed our history. They turned it upside down. They made us the villain. They tried to demonize our general, a man of peace that went to Aburi in Accra to go and in Ghana to go and negotiate for peace. A peace that Britain prevailed upon go on, not implement. But over the years, we've been taught that we are the aggressors. Such nonsense can no longer hold, it can no longer obtain, and that is why, as I said earlier, unapologetically, we are pursuing the freedom of Biafra, and nobody can stop us. Anybody on our path is going to fall, is going to die. Instead of Biafra not to come, every living organism in Nigeria will die, I swear to God Almighty in heaven, because we are not going back. It is a good thing today that some notable Nigerians are on this very platform discussing what transpired 54 years ago. Most have tweeted to say, may it not happen again. The only way to ensure that this will not happen again is the existence of a free, sovereign Biafran nation. That is the only panacea, nothing more, nothing less. Before we came here, Laribo Market was on fire. These vandals and vagabonds are in our land killing people relentlessly. As I'm talking to you right now, they headed some people from Enugu to God knows where, maybe to go and kill them. And you have governors, you have political leaders, you have those who aspire to high office. They're all there. Nobody's talking, nobody's speaking, because they have a lot to benefit and to gain by us being Fulani slaves. Something that can no longer continue. Something we are not prepared to tolerate. That was something I said rather very fortuitously many years ago. I said during one of my broadcasts on Radio Biafra that for Nigerians to understand that God is obsessed with them, that every tribe in Nigeria, every ethnic group in Nigeria will experience what we passed through during the Biafran War. That they too will also become refugees. And today, there are IDP camps everywhere. People that thought they were safe before now are fleeing their homes. The same thing that happened to us between 67 and 1970. And that is why our appreciation and our thanks for those men and women that fought to keep us safe can never, ever, ever be overestimated. We will continue to appreciate them. We shall continue to honor them. And I thank all of, those who are non-Biafrans. I understand that some people who are Biafrans came on this very platform and trying to play the script of their masters. That same divide and rule by saying there is something called Southeast and South-South. All bunkum. I have said it many times on many fora, on many platforms, that everybody in the East, we are all one people. I don't understand why people are hung up about this divide and rule of Goa. It was Goa that created Cross River State. Goa created River State. Not because he loves the people of the South, not at all, but because he wanted to divide us. And we must rise up. We must rise up to the game of these people and say no to them. Now that Yoruba and Igbo are one, do you see them trying to play that game anymore? Now that Biafra and Oduduwa are one and inseparable, bonded together in one, do you see them playing their stupid games? I don't know why some people will come and say they're from Nigeria, they're from South. In order to perpetuate that very division, which the Fulanis have cleverly exploited over very many decades and many years. I don't know when we are going to learn. And the sooner we learn, the better for us. I thank all of you once again. And this very effort to recognize the genocide against Biafrans continues until United Nations and the whole world rise up to this very challenge and acknowledge that a great deal of injustice was done to Biafrans.
tomorrow is our at home. Complete and utter lockdown everywhere. And as I said earlier, I do commend the governors for coming out and saying that civil servants should not come or should not turn up to work tomorrow. It's a very good thing. We must all be bound together in order to ensure that Nigeria, first of all, takes the blame for what they did, and secondly, that the whole world will rise up to the obligation to the oppressed people and do the very right thing. Once again, I thank you all very much, and my very special thanks to Professor Ejiofor for the very wonderful and sterling work that you're doing, you and your team. Thank you very much. And may you both gather and be with all of you. Thank you.
Wow.
Man,
Wow.
Thank you very much. I think, please, host, can you quickly unmute Chief Dele, please? Prof, I think you wanted to say something. Sorry.
Yeah.
Prof, go ahead.
Yeah, so continue and unmute Dele, but I want to call some of our officers to be able to say thank you to Onyendu Bo Nnamdi. At this point, I think I'd like to call Dr. Innocent Okabam and Dr. Celine Piri. Okabam is chairman of our Economic Development Committee, and Dr. Piri is the Assistant Secretary General of World Development Congress. I had selected them to conduct the interactive session, but this is a great opportunity. I know they are great people. They are going to say a befitting thank you to Nnamdi.
Chairman, thank you. Before we go on, what is our visitor coming in with? What name does he came in here with so that we can look?
Oh, okay. Who are you asking about? NK?
Yeah.
I believe not Kanu here.
But since Nnamdi Kanu came in with Nnamdi Kanu now, so I need to
Give me his name.
meet him before we know what he came with.
Give me his name.
Yes, the name of the screen name. That's what I'm asking.
Mazi
Talking about.
Nnamdi Kanu iPhone, I believe.
The next person to speak, I don't know. I think.
Okabam.
Okay. Unmute Chief Dele Momodu. FKK is here. Okay, so that once these two people that the chairman said will speak, once they finish, then Dr. Dele Momodu will then take over, please.
Someone should unmute me.
You're muted now.
No,
Thank you very much.
No. There's an
Can you
error.
hear me?
Yes.
And by Ekenemono. And for those who don't speak Igbo, I thank you all. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, God bless you. Thank you very much for that inspiring and rousing speech you made. Of course, it's not a surprise. You are known for that. And I want to add a little bit of emphasis to what you said, because from all indications, we have been engaged sometimes in a fool's errand, talking about southeast, south, southwest, or whatever. And as you rightfully observed, it was based on a strategy of divide and conquer. We are now still fighting for the soul of Eastern Nigeria. We're fighting for the soul of our people. The division that has been sown amongst us has prevented us from formulating a common strategy. The division has prevented us from being in control of our own politics and our own lives. We have not been able to select our own leaders. That's why today we find so much discordance and disunity in our presentation to the rest of Nigeria and to the outside world. Eastern region of Nigeria was very successful before the war because we had leadership that was based on an understanding of who the people were, what was good for the people, and the people themselves were responsible for enthroning and empowering such leadership. What I would like to advise us to think about today is a way to be sure that history does not become our destination. History should be our guide. We have recounted a lot of history here today, and we have done that so many times in so many fora since the war ended, but it should not be our destination. Let us organize and mobilize. Why is it that millions of people follow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? It's because of the message of hope that he sends out to them. Many of us on this forum were teenagers when the war started, and those of us who survived that war are the lucky ones. The ones we lost, we must not let their sacrifice be in vain. And those that are dying today, most of them were not born during that war. So it is incumbent upon us to come up with the strategy to ensure that we come together, strengthen our unity, reach out to those that are willing to align with us. What we need is people that will take care of our needs. It doesn't matter what political party they belong to. The Yoruba leaders and governors were able to produce a unified security outfit, even though their governors did not all belong and do not all belong to a single political party. But they all had a vision of protecting Yoruba land. We must take control of our politics. There are more than 1 million Easterners, especially Igbos, who today can afford to bring $1,000 each. If we did that in the next 1 month, 1 million Igbos, $1,000, if we will have $1 billion, we start organizing. We don't have to form a political party. The Republicans here, the supporters of Trump, did not form a political party. They took over an existing party. We must organize our people. The millions that follow Nnamdi Kanu do not need to form a political party. We can take over the existing parties in Igbo land and elect people that will lead us based on the vision for Igbo land. We talk about referendum. If you know that the word referendum does not exist in the current Nigerian constitution, then you will know that asking for referendum without taking over the political machinery is a fool's errand. Let us organize. Let us take over the leadership of our homeland. And we can do that. We have the millions of young people, men and women, who are dying to be led. They are sacrificing their lives. Let us organize them. Let us select our people from local government to state to federal. That is our task. Let history not be our destination. Let it be our guide. And thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I don't know if we can please bring Chief Femi Fani-Kayode in right now, because he was on his way somewhere when I diverted him. Please, if we can let him in right away, that would be fantastic.
Yes. Yes, he is here, and we have omitted him. Please, Femi, you can go and please talk to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear
I
you.
hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. FFK. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks to my brother, Chief Dele Momodu. And I turned back and came back to my home. When you called me, I was on my way out somewhere. But this was sufficiently important for me to say a few words and participate. First of all, let me commend the World Congress and let me commend the organizers. Very interesting discussion, and I'm delighted to be here tonight to make a contribution. I speak on my own behalf, and I also know that my thoughts and my words reflect the thinking of millions of people from all over the country, that is Nigeria, most of the southwest, where I hail. I certainly speak for those that are Adam Pastor, Chief Sunday, who is my friend and brother, and also a number of the key Yoruba leaders that are emerging now asking for a stand with the people of the East. I stand with the people of Igbo stock and Igbo origin who have come out and spoken with one accord, one voice to say that what happened 50 years ago was unacceptable, what happened 50 years ago was reprehensible, but what happened 50 years ago is something that we all, the rest of us as Nigerians, really do need to apologize for and amend for. I feel a deep sense of shame as a Nigerian that we killed between 4 to 5 million Igbo people, Biafrans, between 1967 and 1970. Before then, some of us killed 100,000 in pogroms just before the Civil War, and just after the pogrom, just before the pogrom, so just after the pogrom, sorry, 100 Igbo army officers in one night, together with one generals as well. They all went down. So we have killed Igbos for many, many years. We kill Igbos for sport in this country. When they wanted Biafra, we killed almost 3 to 5 million of them. And we've been killing them ever since in this country. Today, Igbos and Biafrans are still being killed. And I think it's unacceptable as a starting for national redemption and reconciliation. It's an apology for this atrocity that has visited upon these people over the last 50 years. And I wrote about that today. I put my money where my mouth is. I wrote about that today in an article titled The Blood of Biafra. And I meant every word of that article, and I've been consistent about these views over a very long period of time. I commend the courage of my friend and brother Nnamdi Kanu, who I do not believe is a terrorist. I do not believe is a killer. I do not believe has indulged in any form of violence. He's quite passionate about the fact that his people deserve to be free, and he wants to exercise his right of self-determination and insists on referendum in the eastern part of this country to establish his dream, which is Biafra. There are many that speak like that in the southwest as well. Sunday and others who also share that view. There must be a referendum in this country. We have a right to a referendum, and there is also a right for self-determination. These are their views, and nobody has the right to take these views away from them. That does not make them terrorists. That simply means that they had shared different views to many people in the country. And I think that it's important for us to have a dialogue with people that think like this and believe these things simply because history seems to be on their side. And the history of our country is one of slaughter, one of racial prejudice against people of the East, bias against the people of the South, generally, particularly people of the East, and for servitude and subjugation of the people of the West. I take pride in saying these things as a Nigerian. I believe that we can still fix these things as a Nigerian. I believe that if they're equitable and reasonable and we behave in a civilized way, we can still reconcile. We can still build bridges, and we can still make people.
The audio is very bad. FFK, if you can hear me, if you can work on your audio. The audio is very bad.
Oh my goodness.
No, the audio is bad.
Hello?
The audio is bad. Are you able to log out and log in again? Please, if you can log out and log in again.
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, please.
Okay, let me try that.
Thank you.
Let me try. Thank you. How do I log out?
Yes, it's settled now. You can continue.
Hello?
Yeah, you can continue, please.
Hello?
Yeah, it's better now. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I was coming. So what I was saying, that, many of us share the views that, there has been injustice visited on the people of the Southeast and of Biafrans, and I think we have a lot to do to make up for what we as Nigerians have done to the people of the East. And, look at what has happened. There are heroes in Biafra, there are heroes outside Biafra. And for example, Steve Jobs founded Apple. In his book, he stated clearly and categorically that he stopped believing in God after he witnessed and read about what was happening and viewed on television, what was happening in Biafra. Then, of course, you have the hero Paul Bruce Bayrock, the young American who burnt himself alive in front of the United Nations building in New York. Man had never been to Nigeria before, but he witnessed what was happening in Biafra on television. 1 million children being starved to death, people being slaughtered on a daily basis. He was so moved that he burnt himself alive in front of the United Nations building. Then you have a man like Bernard Kouchner, who was the foreign minister up until a few years ago of France, was in Biafra itself during the Civil War, who saw the slaughter of children, who saw starving children, and who as a consequence left the Red Cross and set up an organization called Médecins Sans Frontières, Medicine Doctors Without Borders, which is flourishing till today, saving people all over the world in war situations. These all came out of Biafra and as a consequence of what happened in Biafra. Now, the way forward, as far as I'm concerned, is this, that we need to sit down, first of all, as a nation, and apologize to the people of the Southeast for what we did to them. Secondly, we need to sit down and restructure this country. And thirdly, we need to give those that believe that they have the right of self-determination to exercise that right via a referendum. If you do not have these things, you cannot have peace in this country. And this is especially so when we're having more and more killings by terrorists from foreign Fulani terrorists with a few local ones marauding all over the south, all over the north, all over the middle belt, and killing people. And you also have Boko Haram at work. You also have ISIS West Africa at work. We are a nation in crisis. And let me add this. There are many foreign powers, that is non-African state players, that are manipulating the situation to push us into a situation of war. And a war is not going to do anybody any good. Last time, 3 million, 5 million people died. This time round, at least 50 million people died. If we are not careful, we don't manage the situation very well. So as much as we acknowledge the injustice that we are facing for everybody, the people of the South, the people of the Middle Belt, and the people of the Core North itself, where more people are being killed every day than any other part of Nigeria, would you believe that? By these foreign Fulani mercenaries. Millions that are being slaughtered up there. Every day, thousands are being killed. Nigeria is bleeding. Nigeria is dying. And in order to resurrect this country, we need to sit down and map a way forward. And I'm talking about the elites, the political class. We can no longer ignore this situation. 99% of the people that play politics in Nigeria do not talk about this. They know about it. They acknowledge it privately, but they will not talk about it publicly as I'm doing. But thankfully, there are a growing number that are doing so. And I believe that by the grace of God, something will give eventually, and a situation will arise whereby all the ethnic nationalities, particularly the people of the Southeast who have suffered so much can have their right of self-determination and determine whether they want to stay in Nigeria or whether they want to leave Nigeria. That is a right that should not be taken from anybody or any people. Let me end with this. They spoke earlier about the various divisions in the South, particularly the Old Eastern region. The history of it is very simple and very, very clear. At the beginning of the outset, we had regions. We had three regions: the Eastern region, the Northern region, and the Western region. And even in that situation, there was agitation up until 1957 to create a middle belt region, carving out the core Northern region. This was resisted by the British. It was resisted by the core North. Consequently, Arewa, that is the North itself, remained one. But what did they do in the South? They didn't just leave it at two. They now added another region called the Midwest to make it 3 zones. That is 3 zones in the South against 1 zone in the North. And you know precisely what's going on in that situation. It was an attempt to divide us in order to ensure that we were weaker. And it worked very, very well. I believe strongly and passionately, that the people of the old Eastern region ought to come together, work out whatever differences they have, and then move with one accord and in one way, rather than for us to waste our time creating artificial divisions within us about South, Southeast, and so on and so forth. The old Eastern region was a very productive and powerful model, and I think that is something that needs to be worked out. However, one thing must be said: the people of the minority zones must also be given the right of self-determination and be allowed to say where they want to go. But I am sure that they will do so gladly if given the opportunity, and they will want to stay in a wider Eastern region. But collectively, the South must work together. And I'm happy and delighted at the fact that the handshake across the Niger took place, still stands. We're working together. We are one. We are one. We are standing against those that have oppressed us all these years. And we are speaking with one voice, and we're working closely together. Tomorrow, I will participate in a conference with Afeni Ferre and a whole load of other groups represented. Even Ipob group will be there in Abuja, and I look forward to saying a few words there. We shall prevail, providing we stand together, providing we work together, and providing we are prepared to resist those that wish to subjugate us in perpetuity forever. We resist them together. This is my contribution. I commend members of the World Congress. I commend Nnamdi Kanu. I commend everybody on this program. And most important, I salute the courage of the heroes that died for the Biafran cause many years ago. And once again, I say as a Nigerian, I feel nothing but shame of what we did to the civilian population of the Igbos between 1967 and 1970, and what we've been doing up to them up until today. I hope you heard. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dr. Momodu, are you coming in, or do you want me to?
Okay, no, I was muted before. I just want to say a big thank you to Chief Femi Fadikayode for joining us eventually, and for agreeing to detour from his original journey. Thank you, FFK. Thank you so much.
And I should be able to put in a word. Let me put in a word.
Thank you.
Let me put in a word or two for him. Is he still there?
Yeah.
Is he there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
FFK, as you are fondly called. It is a thing of joy to have you here and to hear you speak the way you did. I tell you frankly, if it were up to you, and of course, generations of the Coyotes before you, if it were up to you, I know that Biafra would have been here by now. And the support that you have been giving to us, the support you have been giving to our son, we did not lose sight of it. We are very much aware of it, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Some other children of Odudu have made statements too. I tell you, if, like I said, if it were up to you, the story would have been different. Unfortunately, we are looking at mindless Fulani people, and they don't reason like us, they don't do anything like us, and that is why we are going through what we are going through right now. Now, Fakohunda, Dr. Fakohunda spoke here before you, and with Dele Momodu and other people. You spoke about the handshake across the Niger. Yeah, I remember that handshake across the Niger. I remember how you just headed that. And we believe that that is what we really, really need now. The Biafra Republic, the Oduduwa Republic, these are the things we need. We need to come together. The handshake across the Niger needs to be made strong at this time so that we can achieve our objectives, unless the Fulani have everything, which I don't think they will have. So we really do appreciate you coming to speak to us the way you did. They gave us a challenge before you came for us to begin to reach out further. The Oduduwa children, the Ijos, the Shashiris, all the people they belong in the South, and the Igbo people of in fact, Biafrans and the Oduduwa children, to come together more, set up some kind of platform that we can discuss these things in a manner that it will be fruitful to us. So thank you for coming, and just be on the lookout. I will reach out to you. I will reach out to Momodu.
Thank you.
Reach out to the doctor who spoke to us earlier, so that we can put these things in high gear immediately. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye for
you.
now. Bye for now. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for staying with us so far and doing what we have invited all of us to do. We are so grateful. Before we go on, I want us, before the event of this day, I want us to recognize the people who have worked tirelessly with us to put this program together, and especially those who have those who have really made every effort to pull us through this day. Before we see our time, I want to recognize there were a few number, but I would want us to recognize them. These are the engine of the thing that has happened so far. They are in the name of our leader, Silas Moneke. Wherever you are, please, I want you to raise your hand and let people know you are here, and you had put good effort. You can make a word or two, if that is okay. Our other team member is Mazi.
It's okay, Tochukwu is okay.
It's okay.
Oh, Ben Ezenta. Ben Ezenta.
Mazi Ezenta. And Mazi Ezenta, please, I don't see you here. Wherever you are, please raise up your hand so that people will recognize you. This is one of the engine house of Igbo land. He's a man of his word. He has really, really helped us to put this together. There are other activities, but without us losing you and losing the event, I want us to recognize them quickly. Another person is Barrister Austin Okeke. Barrister Austin Okeke, if you are still here, please. And Obina, this is one of the technical a powerhouse of Igbo land. Obinna, please, wherever you are, please raise up your hand. Let people recognize you. You really worked hard to see us to this day. Austin, I can see Austin here now. Austin, if you want to say a word, Austin Ekeke, he had he's the in the house of our team. Austin Moneke too. I could see you, Austin Moneke. If you are here, please, you can say a word or raise up your hand and let they recognize you. Another person, before I miss every other person we have here, is Celine. Celine, or Vice Secretary. Celine Piri, please, if you're here, Piri, please, Celine Piri. We also want you to be recognized. Before taking much of your time, I will hand over to our moderator, Dele Momodu. Go ahead.
Let me quickly add that Barrister Austin Okeke has been functioning from South Africa in this endeavor. Silas Moneke is in Australia. You can imagine what time it is in Australia at this time, and we do appreciate that. Mazi Center is functioning from Canada. This team put this thing together. Obinna Okenze, the young technical guru, functioning from Uruguay. Those people work tirelessly to put this together, and I do appreciate their work. Of course, Mazi is okay. All of you know him, Tochukwu from London. So those people spend endless times, stress themselves, especially with all the time zone issues, and they did this, and they've continued to work for the Ipob. Okay, so the Dr. Momodu, please.
I am right here, but my attention is also needed. Hello? They need to unmute me.
Is muted. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I was saying that my attention is also needed elsewhere because I thought by now we would have finished this, so I gave some other commitments. I don't know if I can be excused as soon as possible. But so far so good. I think everything is going well. It would be nice if Mazi Ezeuke can take over from here, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dele. It has been a pleasure, as always, to have you, and to always a pleasure to work with you. What a great team! I think we might eventually have the biggest television in Africa very soon.
Amen.
Amen to that. Thank you. And that is going to be part of that handshake across the night. So we are shaking hands and we are crossing that bridge. So having said that, in letting you go, I think we have come almost to the end of this program. I've been sitting down here for the past, just a couple of minutes, less than 5 hours, sitting down. So, moderator or host, can you kindly mute Chief Dele Momodu so